Hello, students. Today we are going to start a new chapter, which is AC. AC voltage regulator or controller. So this is a new chapter. Chapter name is AC voltage regulator or controller. So this one is similar to your cycloconverter. This is also known as AC converter, because here input is AC voltage and output is also AC voltage, but the difference is there. Here the frequency is not changed. Frequency of the output voltage is not being changed. This is the difference if you correlate with cycloconverter. So now let us discuss the first topic of this chapter. We are basically first discussing about the principle of operation. So first topic is related with the principle of phase control. Principle of phase control. So how we can control the phase of AC voltage controller. So this will try to understand with the help of one circuit diagram. So let us discuss the circuit diagram first. So we have got a thyristor T1, a diode D1, Vs is a supply voltage, and supply voltage is AC, and output voltage we are measuring across load resistor R. And so this circuit which I have drawn over here is known as one phase half wave voltage controller. This is one phase half wave voltage controller circuit. Okay, so now let us discuss the working of this circuit. Now a supply is AC voltage. So now what is happening during positive half? So when the positive half is coming into picture, let us take this point as point A and let this point be B. So during positive half, A point is becoming more positive than point B. So during this time, T1 is getting forward biased, T1 is getting forward biased, and D1 is reverse biased. So current will be flowing like this. So load current direction through the load is downward. So during this time, T1 is forward bias, and we have to need to fire T1 during all the positive halves. And now we will be discussing about the negative half. Now during negative half, point B will be more positive than point A. So T1 will be reverse biased and D1 will be forward biased. So how the current will be flowing? The direction of flow of current will be like this. Through diode D1, it will be flowing like this. Now in this case, load current direction is in the upper direction. So if you compare with the previous case, when T1 was conducting, during that time, load current was flowing in the downward direction. Now the load current is flowing in the upward direction. So current direction is reversing in both the cases. So this proves that the type of voltage which we are getting across load resistor is an AC voltage. So during negative half, diode D1 is getting forward biased, and during positive half, we have to T1 is forward biased, and we have to judiciously we have to fire thyristor T1. Now let us discuss about the waveform so that we can understand this type of phase control method. Now I'm going to draw the waveform. So first one is supply voltage with respect to omega t axis. Second one is V naught, and third one is I naught. I naught means load current. Now let us have an extension of zero crossing point. Now positive half is coming into picture. So just now we have discussed whenever positive half is coming into picture, we have to fire thyristor T1. So let us assume T1 is fired at this point, alpha. Alpha is the firing angle. And next, during negative half, diode D1 is getting forward biased. Okay, so during this time T1 was working, and during this time D1 is working. Now once again positive half is coming into picture. So this is how the waveform will be coming. So you can write down this. During this time T1 is working, during this time D1 is working, and during this time T1 is working. And what about your load current? Load current shape will also be same because it's a resistive load. No difference with V naught. Obviously magnitude will be different because I naught is equal to V naught by R. There will be difference in the voltage, current magnitude and the voltage magnitude. Now let us find out V0 average. Now what is the time period? Time period you can see over here, from this to this is the time period, that is 2 pi. So this is alpha 0, alpha pi, and this is 2 pi. So time period of V naught is equal to your 2 pi. Now let us find out uh, V0 average, that is average value of output voltage. So V0 average value, let us first write down the basic formula. So 1 by T 0 to T V0 d omega t. Now what is the time period? So time period in this case is 2 pi. So let us write down 2 pi in place of T. I am writing 2 pi. Now the waveform is not existing straight away from 0 to 2 pi. It is only existing from alpha to 2 pi if you have a look in the waveform of V naught. So that is why I am just changing the limits. So it will be alpha to 2 pi. Now in place of V naught, we'll be writing down, V naught is basically your supply voltage. So in place of V naught, let us write down the equation of Vs. So Vm sine omega t. Vm sine omega t into d omega t, 1 by t integration alpha to 2 pi Vm sine omega t into d omega t. So this, when you are integrating, the final answer will be Vm by 2 pi cos alpha minus 1. So this is the formula for this one phase half wave voltage controller circuit. And similarly, we can also find out V0 RMS. V0 RMS can also be obtained for the circuit. Okay, now let us discuss the same principle of phase control with the help of one phase full wave voltage regulator. So now one phase full wave voltage regulator, same topic, that is principle of phase control. We are taking another circuit for understanding purpose. We are taking a R load and there are two thyristors. So now let us name, this is Vs, supply voltage, AC supply voltage. This is V naught, which we are measuring across R load. And this is a thyristor T1 and this is another thyristor T2. As because, and the circuit name is one phase full wave voltage controller. This is a circuit, one phase full wave voltage control. So what is the difference of this circuit with the previous one? In this case, the diode D1 of the previous circuit is being replaced by means of another thyristor T1, T2. So we have got two thyristors connected back to back in this case, and this combination is known as one phase full wave voltage controller. Whatever load you want, you can connect, but here for understanding purpose, we are taking a R load. Okay, so now let us discuss the working. uh, AC has got positive and negative half. Now what is happening during positive half? Now during positive half, let us take this as point A and this as point B. Now during positive half, this point is more positive than this point. So thyristor T1 is getting forward biased. T1 is getting forward biased. So current will be flowing through T1 through load and then return back. Now the load current direction is in the downward direction. Load current is I naught. So T1 is, we have to fire T1. T1 is forward bias and we need to fire T1 during positive half cycles. Now let us discuss about negative half cycle. During negative half cycle, what is happening? Now during negative half cycle, point B is more positive than point A. Now during this time, T2 is getting forward bias and T1 is reverse bias. So current will flow like this. Will be flowing like this. And now what is the load current direction during this time? It is in the upward direction. So you can check with the previous direction. It was in downward. Now presently it is in the upward direction. So current direction is reversing. This shows that. So during negative half cycle, T2 is getting fired. So T1, T2, T1, T2. Likewise, the cycle will keep on going. Now let us discuss the waveform for this one phase full wave voltage controller. How to control the phase. Vs. First one is Vs. Second is V naught, and third is your I naught, load current. All the x-axis are same, that is omega t angle. Let us have the zero crossing extension. Let us assume that T1 is getting fired over here and T2 is getting fired at this point. So I can show like this: T1, T2, T1, T2. And what about load current? Load current will also be the same one. There will be difference in the magnitude. They won't be same. This will be the load current. Load current, nature of load current will be same as nature of V naught, because in this case we have taken a load as a purely resistive load. Now in this case, if you will find out V0 average, so V0 average in this case, if you just find out, there is no need to find out actually, because it will be zero. Why? Because the one cycle is completed over here. So if you wish, you can note it down. It is zero, it is alpha, this is pi, and this is pi plus alpha, and this point is 2 pi. So V0 average will be 0. Why? Because for one cycle, the positive half and the negative half both are symmetrical to each other. So there is no need to find out V0 average due to symmetricity. Though if you wish, you can find it out, but still no, it's not required. So if you are also finding out, you will be finding that V0 average, that is average value of output voltage, is 0 in this case. Similarly, you can also find out V0 RMS. You can check out the value of V0 RMS for the circuit. Okay, so this is how we have completed the first topic, that is principle of phase control. We have understood this principle of phase control with the help of one phase half wave voltage controller, as well as with the circuit of one phase full wave voltage controller. Now let us discuss the another topic, that is principle of integral control. So next topic is principle of integral control. Principle of integral control. So let us understand this topic with by taking some example. By taking some example. So for this, let us choose one phase full wave voltage controller circuit. So let us draw the circuit first. Circuit is same, only the working principle is different. Just now we have discussed the circuit, same circuit. Supply voltage, output voltage, thyristor T1, thyristor T2. Point A, point B. So during positive half, just now we have discussed the same thing. So during positive half, during positive half, A point is more positive than point B. So T1 is getting forward biased, T2 is reverse biased. So T1 is forward biased during this time, and we need to fire T1. And during negative half cycle, point B will be more positive than point A. So in this case, T2 is forward biased and T1 is reverse biased. So during this time, we need to fire T2. Okay, now let us discuss the waveform for this circuit. You can note it down. The circuit which I have drawn, the circuit which I have drawn right now is your one phase full wave voltage controller. So we are taking the example of the circuit so that we can understand this integral control principle. The circuit right now we have drawn is one phase full wave voltage controller. Let us now discuss the waveform. Okay, waveform. Vs Ig1, that is gate pulse for first thyristor, Ig2 gate pulse for second thyristor, and last one is V naught I naught, output voltage and output current, load current. Zero extension. All the x-axis are same, omega t. Now let us assume that we are firing both the thyristors. Now for this integral control method, one basic thing is that we need to fire both the thyristors at alpha is equal to 0 degree. So let us show the gate pulses. Right. So this red one shows the gate pulses for thyristor 1. Now let us show the gate pulses for thyristor 2, that is your Ig2. Okay. So green one shows the pulses to be given to thyristor T2 and red one shows the pulses given to thyristor T2. Okay, now let us discuss the waveform for V naught. This will be the nature of V naught and I naught. Both will be same. So you can write it down. This is 0, this is pi, and this point is 2 pi. So time period is 2 pi in this case. Acha, this waveform is not complete in complete sense. Uh, Actually, space is not sufficient. Okay, let me draw V naught and I naught once again. Here I am only drawing V naught and I naught because space is not sufficient enough. So 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi. Up to 6 pi, we are controlling or firing thyristor T1 and T2 one by one. Now, after this number of cycles, we are now making the thyristor off for say 2 cycle. So for 2 cycle, we are making it off. Okay, for 2 cycles. So 6 pi, 7 pi, somewhere here 7 pi, 8 pi, 9 pi, and 10 pi. So another 2 pi duration, 4 pi duration, we are making it off. And after this, we are once again we are once again controlling T1, T2 and T1, T2 simultaneously. So during this time, this to this time, during this to this time, no power is given to load. That means no, because none of the thyristors are working. So output current, load current is also 0 and V naught is also 0. So you can mark one thing over here is that let us choose this to this is your N. And this to rest, let us choose N. And let us say this is M cycle. So by varying the number of N and M cycle, by varying this N and M number of cycles. So now what is N? These two are N cycles, and the number of cycles for which we are making the thyristor off, none of the thyristor are working. Let us choose that cycle to be M. So by varying the number of N and M number of cycles, the power delivered to the load can be regulated as desired. This N and M can be anything. I'm just giving one example that N is equal to your 1, 2, 3, 3 cycles. N is equal to 3 cycles. You can see over here. This is one cycle, this is second cycle, and this is third cycle. So N stands for 3 cycles and M stands for 1 cycle, 2 cycle. So for this case, like N is equal to your 3 cycle and M is equal to 2 cycle. So by this controlling n and m number of cycles, the power delivered to the load, that means power delivered from the source to the load, can be regulated as per our requirement. Okay. So this is the principle. So during this time m number of cycle, during this m number of cycle, we are not giving gate pulses. Though thyristor T1 and T2, they are forward biased for during positive and negative half respectively, but we will not be firing any of the thyristors. So we need to control, for this method we need to control what? We have to judiciously, we have to control n and m number of cycles. N means the cycles, the number of cycles for which we are getting the output voltage, and m stands for the number of cycles during which we are not getting any output voltage, right? So this is as per our requirement, n and m. Okay, now let us find out V0 average for this case. V0 RMS. So the basic formula for V0 RMS is equal to 0 to T V0 square d omega t 1 by T square, first square, then mean, and then square root. This is the basic formula. So now what is the time period in this case? Time period in this case is uh, T in this case is equal to your 2 pi n plus m divided by n. This is the time period. So I'm just making changes. So n by 2 pi n plus m 0 to 2 pi v0. This now v0 is equal to v0 is equal to vs during this cycle, during this period. So I can write, for this case I can write Vm square sine square omega t. Vm square sine square omega t. Now this, when we are solving out, you need to solve it out. So when you are solving, it is coming after solution is coming like this. This we can write down finally Vs into root square root of k. So this is the formula. Let us name it as equation number 1. Vs square root of k. Now what is Vs? Now write down where Vs is equal to Vm by root 2. Vs is equal to Vm by root 2. That is RMS value of Vs. RMS value of Vs, Vm by root 2. Okay. And k stands for square root of n by n plus m. This K stands for duty cycle of AC voltage. K stands for duty cycle of AC voltage. Now I0 RMS value of load current. I0 RMS is equal to V0 RMS by R load. Equation number 2. Now P naught. P naught means output power. So output power is equal to V0 RMS square by R. So V0 RMS according to equation number 1 is Vs square root of K. So if you are taking square of this, so it will be Vs square K by R. If you are putting equation number 1 in this case. So you have to substitute, in this case you have to substitute equation number 1. So after doing this, you are getting this thing. So this will be equation number 3. Let us choose this as equation number 3. Now next we will be finding out the power factor. Next we need to find out power factor. PF means power factor. So power factor is output power divided by input power. So output power according to equation, now in this case you'll have to substitute here equation number 3. And this Is is equal to I naught. Okay. So P naught is equal to Vs square K by R. Equation number 3, Vs square K by R. Now this denominator side is your Vs into Is. Is is same as your I naught, series connection. So what is I naught? Is your I naught is according to equation number 2. So here you are substituting equation number 2, right? So equation number 2 is V0 RMS by R. So this R and R is getting cancelled out. One Vs is getting cancelled out. So after this, next line, is becoming VSK V0 RMS Now V0 RMS, in this case, you have to substitute equation number 1. So now next line, VSK, V0 RMS. V0 RMS is equal to, first equation, V0 RMS is equal to Vs square root of K. So Vs is getting out cancelled, and finally it is becoming square root of K. So this is the final equation, equation number 4, square root of K, power factor. Equation number 4. So this is the working principle of integral control, which we have understood with the help of one phase, taking a circuit of one phase full wave voltage controller. So in this case only we need to judiciously control the number of n and number of m cycle. You have to control these two things properly in order to control the output voltage as per our requirement.